Good afternoon, Antrim County. This is Antrim County's Veteran Voice Podcast with your host, Brandon, Carrie, and Matt. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Matt.
You like lean?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Oh, boy.
That beard's growing out. Looks like it needs a couple braids in it.
No.
He's wanting to
You
give
know?
braids
I've never understood
to
that.
Matt's beard.
Mhm.
Well, not just that, but maybe even, like a striped dye. We can put some hair dye in it and, maybe like a purple and a hot
No.
green or something like that. I don't know.
Heck no. What was that guy from?
You could fit in with like today's kid, you know what I'm saying?
What was that one
Oh, yeah.
rocker part of our generation? Static X, the guy.
Oh, yeah.
The really crazy
Yeah.
long ones or whatever.
I
don't
can
know
see
that
you
one.
rocking a beard dyed up and with a septum ring and,
No. Septum ring. I am 42 years old, not 24. I walk in and then all my vets are going to go in my office and try to yank it right out of my nose.
Oh, gosh.
I could see that happening too,
Ugh.
quite literally.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Get yanked out? Ugh.
No.
No
Man.
thanks.
I can't
no,
even
thank
imagine
you.
how people get that done. It's got to hurt.
I used to have my tongue pierced, though.
I do too.
Yeah.
You guys are weird.
Oh,
No, it was fun.
You guys are so weird. I've thought about getting like the side
Mhm.
of the nose,
Yeah.
but my daughter says no.
Really?
Yeah, a long time ago I just mentioned it, and I was like, all right, I won't. I was
Come
totally
home one
messing
day with
it.
like a fake one, the magnets or whatnot.
It's a good
Oh,
idea. You can get the
yeah.
magnet ones at like Claire's or something.
That's funny. I
Good
should
idea.
do that and see what she does.
Right.
Yeah.
Or get like a fake tattoo on your face coming.
Oh,
going around.
jeez.
What'd
Yeah,
you do,
I
Mom?
think the boys would be mad at me for that.
They probably
My
would.
boys, Mom, why did you do that? They'd be all worried.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, what a week, guys! What a week! I mean, between the grant stuff with the state and trying to
Oh.
get that taken care of, and they just had a hearing on that too.
They sure
Actually, and that's on YouTube. So if anybody ever wants to see that, we'll post a link on our
Yes.
Facebook page. And about the 45-minute mark in that YouTube video, they started talking. The subcommittee is talking with MVAA director, and Amy Bocan for MACVC was there on county's behalf to be able to explain that side. But
She's down in Ingham County, I think.
And-
She's
yeah.
a VSO there, and
she's the director there.
yeah, she's the director, and she's like the legislative, what do you call it?
Official or officer for
Liaison.
Yeah.
So she did a really good job.
Yep, she
It
did.
was- I was really, she made her points very well, and it was understood.
Yep.
It was very clear, like
For-
what, yeah.
For people who don't know what's going on, every year, I took over the office here in 2021, and we've been doing grant work ever since. And, that typically, the awarding of the grant and stuff like that comes in a little late, about a month or so late, typically, on a normal basis. This year, we didn't get grant funding until midway or toward the end of Q1, which would be December into January. I'd have to go back and verify that, but
Yeah.
it was extremely late.
Right.
And enough that this office, we don't spend anything. But so each year, every office gets, or not every office, every county has the ability to apply for the MVAA County Veterans Service Fund grant. And they can use that for anything that can help, better veteran relations, advertising, publishing. Counties have bought vehicles. Heck, this office bought a van before I even got here. Office improvements, veteran services. I've heard of other counties doing like movie tickets and stuff like that. Anything that we can help and justify with the, serving the veterans, you can use that money for. And it, on a base note, every county should be or is awarded $50,000 as a base, and then from there, it depends on the how many the veteran population within that county as to additional grant funds awarded thereafter. This year we were awarded originally $68,000 to be able to spend toward different initiatives in the county and everything like that. Well, about 2 months after we got the grant funds, actually the fully signed executed agreement and the grant funds brought in, did we actually get we got another notice from the state saying that they need to they had to recalculate every county's office awards. This county, our county, we went down $12,104. So our total grant funding now is $56,026.
Wow.
Which is,
That's a lot.
yeah, well, we had to scratch
like
a couple of
big hit.
different initiatives that we had going on, and rework that grant, and just reworking the grant and the amendment and stuff. That takes time. And on top of that, we have to get in front of the BOC for their approval now, since it's a different.
Yeah, the commissioners.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
because we're not by millage. We have to present everything.
Yep. So, well, it changed the dollar amount. That's the biggest thing. That's why it has to be signed off again.
Yeah.
So they had a hearing on that because of just the poor way it was handled and ran, and then the strict timeline on it as well, as far as having to change it.
Right.
So we've been dealing with that. That's taken up a lot of my time, and which unfortunately then puts more work on Matt and Carrie's shoulders if I'm not able to be always available. So thanks for being there, guys, and dealing with that, because it directly affects everybody.
Yeah, and we've had to schedule out veterans, further than we'd like to because of it, and so it affects everybody, and it was really frustrating for that to happen, because the fiscal year for the state starts October 1st.
Yeah.
And they waited. I mean, having the finance background, it's like it's nothing more frustrating than seeing that happen, and just like that's just or that it's happened.
Right.
But the hearing is very interesting to see the questions being asked and how they're answered or not answered. And I think it's good that our veterans know about that. And that's Michigan, let's see, MVAA, Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency.
There you go.
So they're the ones that, with this grant, that but distributes the funds. And there was a shortfall, and
It's like every
we
county.
deserve an explanation of why and where it went to. So,
Well, I'm curious to see how it's going to be moving forward and what stipulations they do. You know?
It will be, and I hope that they tighten up on them. And
Well, I don't think it's going to be anything
just-
coming down from the state on this. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
it's what it's going to be is the MVA dictating it down to the counties as far as adding additional work and stuff like that.
right, which is even more frustrating.
But we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
You can't really speak on something
Be
you don't
hopeful,
know.
I guess.
Right?
That it is for the better, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, between that and, other counties, it's been a different week,
Yeah, it was a bit fun.
you
Yeah.
know. So
We got through it, though.
but we're
the
here.
weather, too.
It is
The-
Friday.
The weather's been different, like
Right.
every day.
Yeah.
Weather doesn't know what the hell wants to do, honestly.
Yeah.
The kids had a snow day yesterday. I was like,
Yep,
what?
mine did too.
What in the world? Why?
Yeah.
How did that happen? We even looked out.
It was really
my day
icy.
off yesterday, and I was like, it's not.
I was glad you didn't have to drive in it.
I'm probably glad, too.
Yeah.
I seen this
Hate it.
TikTok that was making fun of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Today versus when we were kids in school and stuff
yeah.
like that. Forecast for back in '94 or something like that. Severe winds with blinding snow. Still going to
Yeah.
school, walk your rear end there, and then
Yep.
Right?
sunny day with whatever. It was over exaggerated, but
Yeah,
still,
it's funny,
what I'm
though.
saying? Like the difference between when we went to school versus now, like it gets canceled fast.
It does.
Yeah.
I think we had a handful from my freshman to my second senior year that we had a snow day. We rarely ever had them. I swear, it's like they wanted us to wreck before we got
didn't.
there.
Right.
We didn't often, and for me, down where I was, mid-state, well, between Detroit and Lansing, we would get those ice storms.
Oh, yeah.
So when it was icy, that's usually when we would have them. But usually we didn't get a ton of just snow that would cancel school.
Right.
Then again, maybe I just don't remember.
Heck, we've only had one snow day this year for the county itself.
Well, the county, man, that doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
That don't really ever happen.
That rarely
Yeah,
happens. But we've had way worse days than that one day that we were closed down.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
worse. And I'm sitting here like, why are we going to work today? There's a couple of days driving down those hills, man. Oh, God.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we're here. It's Friday, and now we got the weekend coming up, and then, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys actually got out into the town today,
Yeah.
Yes, we
which
did.
is awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah, we had Carrie went to Elk Rapids. I went to Mansalona real quick today and dropped off some stuff around the place. I went to Rooted, so Rooted's got some brochures and our cards and everything else. Carrie, where'd you go?
Excuse me.
You went to a couple places.
So yeah, I went over to Elk Rapids. So I stopped at the bike shop there. Also, I stopped at two different chiropractic offices. Dr. Knoll in Elk Rapids there on River Street. He's a veteran, so I've gone to him before, and he, I brought some of the business cards, and then people have questions a lot about all the rumors about the VA and benefits being cut and stuff, and so it helps to get that communication. Like, please do not listen to the rumors, because there's so much from all directions that's not accurate, and people get it confused, and it's playing the game of telephone.
So true. So true.
So there were a few people I talked to about that. Let's see, I stopped at the drugstore, Corner Drug. There was several businesses still closed in Elk Rapids right now till summer after Memorial Day. Stopped at Gilroy's, put some business cards there. Dam Shop, talked to them. I got lunch there too. It's always good. Where else did I go?
You jump in the water out there?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Probably give me another month and a half.
Yeah.
May, hopefully.
Well, you remember
Yeah,
last year when
last
she
year
was
was
out there
May.
with the kiddos, it was still like 10 degrees
No.
outside.
Nope.
No.
Not this guy.
It's like the ice bath challenge or whatever.
No, not quite. We
Oh,
did
yeah.
go in. I'm trying to remember, Vivs and I, the last time we swam, it was pretty cold.
Yeah.
Nobody was out there. I want to say it was late. No, it was November.
Was it? Holy crap.
It was in November. We went in. I'm like, let's do it. And yeah. So we went in. So we try to get in by May,
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
Nah, it's
Cold
good for
water.
you. It wasn't that cold. I'd say once it hits like 55, it's okay. 55 temperature for the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to the bike shop, and that is a veteran-owned business as well. They're in Elk Rapids. It is called, I don't want to get it wrong, I think it's Bayside Bikes, I think. And the other chiropractors that I went to is Michigan Family Chiropractic. It's on Bridge Street. And they don't advertise it because they're not allowed to, but they actually have a heart for veterans, and they do hero boxes, it's called, that they send to active duty deployed every year. Twice a year they do that, and they will treat any active duty military member for free. Like if they're on leave or whatever, you can go in and they'll give free adjustments. Also, they give discounted rates to veterans and first responders of all types, so
Okay.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, and they've got cards there for us, like in case people don't know how to get a hold of us, and you can say, hey, these businesses have cards or know how to get a hold of them. And, so it's nice.
That's one thing I'm seeing definitely being on this side of the the desk or in this office is it is so hard to get all the information out throughout the entire county. And then even if you do get all the information out, how many people are actually receiving it and picking it up? And that's why like word of mouth is so huge.
It is,
You know?
So the owner, by the way, the bike shop is called Bayfront Beach and Bike. I don't want to have that wrong because it's kind of important. He's got our cards too, and we got some of his here.
Nice.
So he is an Iraq veteran, and it was good talking to him too because he was asking about our benefits. Like, he doesn't know what to believe either, and he's like, I try to use common sense, and some people go so far one way or the other, and I don't know what to believe, and so it's good to talk and get connection so they can get the correct information from the actual source, whether people like the source or not.
Yeah.
We know where it comes down from, and that's what it is. So,
Exactly.
And that's what we have to share. And
we're very limited on what we get too.
Right, we are.
And we're only going to put out information it's been vetted and looked at and looked at sideways. Half the time we have to double check information to make sure it's correct before it goes out. So.
And unfortunately, the news is not. It's sadly not a good source of
always accurate
factual information. We used to be able to trust that, but now it doesn't matter who you are or what you believe. We want to make sure people know the real truth, though.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was good getting out there and seeing people and just chatting with everybody and seeing what they need. And
well, we talked about it earlier. The biggest attempt is to make sure that we have a presence throughout the entire county and that everybody feels comfortable.
Right.
And again, that word of mouth that I just the shop owners or the people who work the front desks and they general conversation and and that's where a lot of people actually let loose with friends and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, hey, have you heard of the VA program and stuff? I know Carrie, I know Matt.
Yeah.
Here, take one of their cards. They'll take care of you, kind of thing.
Yep.
And again, it's just what more and what other ways can we help spread the word, the VA and what we can do and how we can help vets and stuff like that. I think that's going to be a big thing.
Absolutely. Yep.
It is.
Well,
and just having the cards out there so they can call, and it's that little stuff.
Yep.
Like some people don't even know we're here. So
that's true. That's true. You think we'd be small, but well, just kind of caveat off that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't know about programs in the VA, and one of the programs that I've been in the last couple months, I've had a couple of these so far, is DD-214s, and the issues that I know I can personally just say this because I'm not afraid of anybody that's in the Navy now. NMCB 74 was my battalion, and it got decommissioned in 2013, about the same year. Like 2 months after I got out, our whole battalion got decommissioned. And with that being said, a ton of members of NMCB 74 got the shaft when it came to their DD-214s because whoever in the head shed or whatever just sitting on their butts doing nothing as usual. So we got a lot of guys with – I had one guy, no Afghan campaign, no presidential unit citation. Those are kind of some big – it's a campaign medal, so it proves you so you can actually have VA health care.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then half the time, or some of the time, the vet ain't even there to sign it. So they don't even get to actually proofread or, make corrections on the DD-214. So you kind of, once you get it, it's just that document you put away, and you don't really realize it until, whatever drives you to look at it and analyze a little bit further.
Yeah.
Right? Because immediately after service, you have up to, a year to have that automatically corrected, like to request that automatic correction without any problem.
Oh, I didn't know.
Right.
Oh, yeah. We got to study that one. I didn't even know that.
So
1 year. Okay.
Yeah. But then after that, it's like it's difficult, right?
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you don't know the
Yeah, if you don't know the certain forms and everything else, it gets to be real bad. I know.
procedure. Yeah.
I know. I'm doing one right now. I still got to meet with them, and but so if you have a DD 214 and let's say you're missing a campaign medal, which I really hope you're not, but if you are, or you got like your good conduct's not on there, there's a medal that's missing, or there's like things actually missing, like time and service. Classes and stuff like that can help you out. See, you can get me all sideways. See, my brain shuts right off as soon as he does it.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Oh, the force choke?
Yeah.
I like that.
I didn't. All I seen was her hands like right here. I was like, what?
She's strangling you about it.
All right,
He's
Sheldon.
messing with Matt. What was that you were doing over there?
Oh, I was just reaching for his hand.
No.
I want to sing
It's like
Kumbaya.
like the Michelangelo painting.
Well,
Or the oh god. Now, so what was that now, Matt?
I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, so DD 214s, if there's something missing on there that you know for sure that you had and you like to get that fixed, just give us a ring, and we can set up an appointment and have you come in. But basically, there is a DD 149 that you would actually fill out with us, and in there's a line way at the bottom that basically you explain to the board that's going to be looking at this DD 149 what needs to be fixed, why it needs to be fixed, and what you're like, if there was a certain reason why it never got fixed, 10 years ago, you just kind of got to explain that to them. But every single one that I've ever put in has come back, and they've gotten an addition on their DD 214. Wow, I almost could not speak that. DD 214. And, it's really important, especially if you got campaign medals missing, you can't get benefits.
Oh, you can. It's not necessarily a presumptive or a
right.
Given
just
kind
makes
of thing.
it easier when you have it on there like it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So I know a lot of people that haven't signed for their DD 214s. A long time ago, that was kind of a thing where DD 214 was null and void or whatever if you didn't have a signature on it. But I don't see that being a big problem anymore. But
yeah, they do those digitals, like it didn't even look like a signature or like a picture of their signature. It was just like digitally signed, but you didn't maybe see it. Mine, I know we had to go and they made us look over everything.
Really?
Before it was done.
But you were there. Right.
I was right there, and I know the people that were in our MPF at that time, they were really good at what they did. So I was lucky.
Think about this, though. Like, not everybody knows what all that terminology is.
Right.
Right. And a young soldier, let's say, E3 or below, E4, and they're going there ready to go, right? Yep. They see the DD 214 character discharge. Right. They may not necessarily go over the individual ribbons or the service dates, deployment dates or anything like that to verify if anything is on there that would ultimately assist in benefits or play a role, or even if it doesn't assist or, benefits are straight, but you just want the accurate information rolled up on there,
Yeah.
Think about, things like, so we had one actually not too long ago where the burial benefit was affected by an inaccurate rank, right?
Yeah.
So
that was 2 ranks.
Well, still the wrong rank was on the burial headstone, right, or the plaque.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of wild because after talking to the family and working with all this and stuff like that, it's kind of lieutenant junior grade to commander. That's two jumps. You know what I mean? So I could understand why they were like, I want to make sure he's got commander on there because that's a very important position in the military.
It is. It should be correct.
Yep. But there's a form for that. There's always a form. So
yeah.
Swear.
Yeah.
That's
a
a whole
federal. Yeah,
There's a form for a
you
form.
you
for a
ain't getting
form.
away from that. That's for sure.
Yeah, and every branch is different too. So
Oh, yeah.
when they review those DD 149s, right? Depends on the branch of service, and they have a board that meets to review them and either approve or deny
Yep.
the applications for the change. So
And you got to snail mail that stuff.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You got to send it to I think Marine Corps, Navy is. I would assume probably Wilmington, Virginia, because that's naval personnel support. Well, I don't think that's a thing anymore. God, we're getting old. But yeah,
yeah.
well,
What else? What else is going on? Oh, before I forget, I want to list the businesses that we stopped at.
Oh, yeah.
On our Facebook page, so we'll put a list on there and tag them. Hopefully, they have most businesses have a Facebook site, or at least we'll share their link to their website.
Where are we at now
Huh?
with followers?
God, I think I can't check right now because the
980.
podcast thing, but yeah, I think it was like
So we
980 something.
finally crossed that hill.
Yeah, the problem was I had like 970, 973, and then one day I went on there and it was like 960. I'm like, wait a minute, we're going backwards. What happened with that?
I
But-
think businesses can follow, but not like. So it's something weird with if it's a business or a person.
Yeah.
So right now we have 983 followers
Heck yeah.
and 761 likes. That's pretty good.
Heck yeah. We need 1,000 though. If
Yeah,
anybody's
well,
listening, tell your
yep,
friends,
we-
add us.
Need 17 more. Yep.
That's a heck of a freaking network that we set up through Facebook. It's become such a huge thing. Even in a small time, I've only been here 2 years, a little over 2 years now. And before, you could definitely tell how much of a difference it is by just posting something. People are almost instantaneously, seeing us and seeing what we're doing and stuff, and liking and sharing a lot and stuff.
Well, we got to give a shout out to the community.
yeah.
We had and I don't know if we've put this out here on the podcast yet or not. I can't remember it,
Last
but we did?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So I don't need to go into it, but the fact that we had that many people that was ready and willing to react and help out another vet, and thank you guys for following and seeing that need and feeling it. It really means and makes a difference in this community.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
He brought
really
it
is.
up again, though, too. I talked to him the other day, the veteran.
Did he?
He's like, I can't say how grateful I am for everybody,
Good.
for people helping and just good people around here. So,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we just got some new volunteer driver applications, and we got 2 of them. So really excited about that, and being able to maintain that service and keeping it going. So guys, if you can, or if you know somebody else who can, many hands make light work, and we were really overwhelming the one driver because he was really always saying yes.
he loves to help and to be
and he
of
had
service.
that caring heart, and I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely. But you don't want to burn anybody out.
Right. And he needs to take some time off for his own reasons for right now. And,
Yeah.
we can't just rely on one person to do it all. And
Yep.
And the ones they do when they can, but they also are volunteering in other ways too. So that's
Right.
why it overlaps with other things that they do in the community. So it's not that they don't want to help, but we can take more
Yeah. Well, we got
for sure.
Got one guy that does Meals on Wheels and is one of our volunteer
I think
drivers.
two of them
Oh,
do.
yeah, 2 of them,
Yep.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then we've
Forgot about
got
that.
2 cops.
Yep.
So they're doing a lot already. So it's
yeah.
it'll be nice to have some more people and see where that goes. Whose phone is that?
Somebody owes donuts.
Yeah.
You guys ever play
Not
that
me.
game at all?
I made sure mine was
it
off.
yours?
It's probably mine.
You're
Buying
the one that
donuts.
told us
Go
to-
figure. I'm sitting here
You're the one
talking
that told
crap.
us to-
Yeah, in the service, every time we had class, or like especially comms class, because of all that detail and stuff. If you left your phone off of vibrate and it rang in class, the freaking instructor donuts. And if you did not bring donuts the next day,
Well,
You see, it was called corrective training in our area.
corrective training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Who's
I
gonna
didn't
be
have
sweating?
a phone.
So
Yep.
Oh, that
didn't
was
have
before
one.
phones, huh? At that
It
point.
was before cell phones.
I bet
yep.
you had pay banks and stuff. Payphone banks.
I remember having a phone card.
Oh,
Phone card that we had to use, and there was like a spot to go and use a phone. Enter your little, what was it, Quest
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The
or
cards-
US West?
Yeah, there was like 30
Well, for me it was US
30-minute
West too.
cards that only last 20 minutes for some stupid reason. I swear
Yeah.
they're shiesty cards, I swear.
Yep, it was
that.
fun. But I'm glad we didn't have phones in high school either, you know.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
And then it carried over to that just barely.
Yeah.
There were no smartphones when I was still in either.
No.
Like smartphones came like right after I got out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
So-
going to say, we deployed, we're not allowed cell phones,
Yeah,
even if we had them.
I'm surprised that they let people deploy with phones. I mean, they're like, you want to be tracked.
It's like OPSEC stuff, too.
Exactly.
You know?
Like,
ugh.
I just can't believe like it's like flies in the face of everything we were taught about OPSEC and ComSec and everything. So that was just, I'm still, when I see these pictures of the younger, of the military, any military, on cargo planes with their phones all up looking at them.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just like, is this a real thing or is this a joke? It's real, apparently.
I've seen that a couple times. I'm just like, damn,
Yeah.
they got the life. And
Like,
then
wow.
boot camp and stuff. Like, I never.
Oh, yeah.
They
No.
sent that all back home. Everything you came with, you got sent back home. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't have that, but we had a payphone and it was once a week. If, usually we got it. And there was a vending machine and a payphone, and then you had to stand in line and wait.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
yep. And that was it.
Well, Brandon's freaking over there chatting with somebody.
Yeah.
We had to walk in, so.
Yeah.
But
At least he didn't ring the doorbell because we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a sign right on it, and
Worked
we had
out
that
good.
happen. It's funny. We
Worked-
try to carve out time for everything we need to do, but without ever turning people away.
Yep.
And we've had a sign out that has said, make appointments, but we never will say you're not allowed, like we're not going to
yeah.
help you. We never do that.
Yep. We're always open and available, so.
Because there are things that happen and you just need to come and ask. Or sometimes people don't get over this way. It's in the middle of the county. They might have other business in the building. And come on in, see what you need. And a lot of times we do have to set up an appointment for later, but at least getting the communication there is good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to cut this
Yeah, I think we're done.
podcast short. I'm going to be Brandon in today and thank everybody for listening. We really do appreciate our listeners that are out there. Got quite a few followers now, and just share this information. Share the podcast is the best way to get information out, it seems like, and
Right.
keep up on our Facebook and look for events coming up. I know that we have been talking about doing Paddle Antrim. Still got to talk about that, but that's one of the major events that we do during the year. Petoskey
yeah.
Stone Fest is
Yeah.
coming up, so me and you'll
And
have
they-
a booth out there.
Yep, and they changed that because it used
Yeah.
to be. It's always been historically the weekend of Memorial Day, so that Saturday. But this year they changed it to the weekend before.
Yeah, 17th.
17th of May is when that will be.
Yep.
So we'll be over at Barnes Park.
That'd be nice because I think that's really going to help the amount of people coming into that one too. Because when you
Right.
like
Yeah.
you're talking about, you get one event going on, but you got another event going on in Boyne City.
And it's Memorial Weekend. Like,
it's like,
nobody.
ugh.
I mean, people do come, and it is a big event, but
Oh, absolutely.
people often want to go camping and do other things with their family and not
Yeah.
necessarily. So hopefully we'll get some good outreach there. We always do. So
Yeah, that was a fun event. So
yeah. All right. Well, have a good weekend, everybody,
absolutely,
or week, whichever.
we will
come
see
up.
you next year. Next year,
Yeah, next year.
This is so Friday. We will see
Friday.
you next weekend, Antrim County.